Good morning. Here we are with Gabby to talk about the latest epidemic around. It's called Chikungunya. We know a few facts about it. We know it's around 60 countries, which is a lot. We know it's an RNA alpha virus. Its vector is a mosquito, such as malaria or dengue. It sucks. And there's no cure and no vaccine. So Gabby, what's up with this new thing?
So, as you said, chikungunya is a relatively new disease. At least a few new outbreaks have occurred. It was discovered about I guess in the 50s.
Okay.
In the 50s by Marion Robinson.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot his name, but Marion Robinson. It was actually first discovered in Southeast Asia, but now it's spread to South Africa and just mostly around the tropics. So the virus is a single-stranded RNA virus.
Okay.
It is positive sense, which means it's a lot more like mRNA, so it's a lot easier to transcribe into proteins. It's enveloped. And given that it has an icosahedral shape, it belongs to the family of Togaviridae and the genus Alpha virus. And well, the species name is Chikungunya.
Okay, so that's like the family tree. That's what we're looking at here.
This is like the family tree, yeah.
Okay.
The taxonomy of it.
So we know this virus is affecting a lot of people, like in the tropics, but like how does it make contact with like humans?
So the virus can affect all the mammals. It can affect just mammals in general.
Okay.
So what happens when a mosquito bites an infected mammal, then it becomes a vector, and when it bites the next human or the next mammal, that individual or organism gets infected. When a mosquito bites an infected mammal, then it becomes a vector, and when it bites the next human or the next mammal, that individual or organism gets infected as well.
Okay.
But it's mostly transmitted by two types of mosquito, or by I guess a genus of mosquito, the Aedes.
So basically what they do is carry this virus around, and if they sting the infected guy, they get infected so they can infect other people.
Exactly, yeah. So the mosquito can propagate the disease, yeah. And usually, actually, now you mention it, people that get bitten will actually show symptoms usually between 2 and 10 days. It survives with the host, right? It has to do a lot with the way it reproduces. That's the word it reproduces. Some viruses go through the lytic cycle, and some undergo the lysogenic cycle.
So sorry about interrupt you. No, what's the difference between like these two cycles?
So if we go right here to this diagram, right here, the lytic cycle is when the virus infects the host cell by attaching to it first, and then transferring its RNA or its genetic material into the host, and using the ribosomes to do the replication, or the transcription of the proteins for them.
Oh, okay. The ribosomes are like the factories of the cells,
exactly,
right? So the virus would just send instructions to these factories and make their own structures.
Yeah, basically, that's a wonderful way of putting it. Yeah, exactly. So then it just uses it. It synthesizes the proteins of the virus instead of its own. Then it will assemble itself. The virus will assemble. And once they're all assembled, they will burst the cell, so they will lyse the cell, and the whole cell will die, which is when you become sick. The lysogenic cycle, though, undergoes like a dormant phase before lysing, so that's why you wouldn't see the effects so quick. And just while we're at it, I just want to point out here the generalized structure of the virus. So viruses are normally just protein capsules, like they're not identified as anything else. So they're not bacteria, they're not...
They're basically just DNA containers, right?
DNA containers, exactly, yeah. So they're made up of a heterocapsid. In this case, it's an icosahedral head. The DNA, or in this case the ssRNA, the single-stranded RNA, is right inside the capsid. They have a neck, the sheath, and then the tail fibers, which are used to structure.
So it works like like an injection,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just injects the DNA through the sheep. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah.
Right on.
Okay, so now we know how the viruses work. How does the virus actually like affect people and their lives?
So what happens when you get infected with the virus is that it will attack mostly your muscle cells, your joint cells, your epithelials, your skin.
Okay.
And it honestly just it has many common flu symptoms. Like
Okay.
it gives you a fever, it gives you a headache, rashes.
So I guess like it could commonly confused with other diseases.
At first it does, and then when the symptoms get more severe, and when you get more and more pain, then it can be also confused with dengue, for example.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so how is there like a treatment? Like people can go to the hospital and get that fixed, or like how does that work?
There is no found cure, no known cure yet. It's really hard to treat because it's a virus. Right now we are only working with preventative measures. Preventative measures, for example, is making sure there's no accumulated water. If you leave your winter tire out and water accumulates in your tire, that will be a perfect home for mosquitoes to breed, right? And then if you see at this map, that's where in the tropics is where mostly the affected individuals are. Yeah, so the red stripe is where most cases have been documented.
Okay, but now it affects a lot of people, but how does the global population is being affected by this?
So the virus, it's been recurring for the past 30 years or so, 40 years or so. And as of January 2015, it's 1.13 million people had been recorded to have the disease, and that's just in Latin America, so around here, Latin America, the Caribbean, and the USA and stuff. So that's not counting Africa and South Asia.
Wow, that's quite a bit.
Yeah, South Asia actually has 1.9 million people that have been contracted the disease since it first began, of course. And
compared to most other recent epidemics like Ebola, how deadly it is?
It's not really deadly. No. Only 176 cases have been documented to actually die because of the disease.
Wow.
But it's mostly immunocompromised or elderly people that pass away.
Well, thank you for coming out this morning. I hope you learned a lot about chikungunya, and I hope you had a great class. Shout out to Tim.